Hi, Gemini. Let's do a reading for you. I got a brand new deck. I'm very excited about it, and I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm excited about it. It's the Light Seers deck. A lot of tarot readers are using it these days. So, here's what the box looks like. And the inside says, "And into the gray we follow, like 1,000 flickering stars, and there in a sunlit hollow we lose and find what is ours." I love the smell of... I wish you could smell this. Go ahead, take a smell. I love the smell of the new decks. I'm weird like that. It's like a new book. I'm a nerd. Bear with me, Gemini. I'm a nerd. Okay. So let's get some messages out for you, Gemini. Current messages for Gemini. Just shuffling them extra good since they're new. Okay, almost there. Okay, let me break. Okay. Current situation. Root. Past. Goal. You. Outside influence. Hopes and fears. Outcome. Whoa. Death and rebirth at the bottom. Okay, there is so much swords energy, which is air energy. The situation is the Page of Swords. So you are thinking about, you're full of ideas. And you're balancing a lot right now. You're kind of walking the line between many different ideas. You're studying. You're wanting to create something. And you're at the very beginning. You want to create something unique and original in the world. You're studying what other people have done, and you're ready to go. However, your energy is coming out as the Nine of Swords. You are the Nine of Swords. So like somehow the light is struggling to come in. And though you have days and moments where you're walking toward the light, the next minute you're wondering what's possible. We have this, it's like somehow this Eight of Swords is blocking out this one beautiful sword. Almost like, do you feel deserving? Because look, we have these birds here flying close, and then it's like when you get in this state, they struggle to get in. Maybe it's like a flooded feeling. You feel flooded sometimes. The root or underlying is the Ten of Swords. It's almost like sometimes your ideas take flight. Sometimes they fly away from you completely. And then all at once, they come crashing down. In the past, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So you worked on a lot of these ideas, and you held on. Currently, you're holding on to a few of them. In the past, you practically, though, sat down, made a plan, thought about how all of this could build a life in a world that you loved. Everything felt organized, and everything felt related. I also see that you were working on spiritual ideas as well. So there's an element of like sitting at a desk, doing a desk job, and then also beginning work, though, that includes like spells and rituals and your ideas. You've had days, though, where everything is gone and you're just left feeling barren of your ideas. And then days where you feel completely overwhelmed, that you're not doing enough. And there's almost like a freeze response here, and it's in the mind. Whereas in the past, there was like a practical path that you saw. Some days I feel like your mind tramples the things, the beauty that you want to make and the things that you want to make. I excuse me. I guess I'm wondering what keeps you maybe you always feel like a beginner. But in this card, in your current situation, you have so much hope. Like there's so much hope here. Everything feels balanced and possible. So you have days where you can feel the possibility, where everything floats off of the page and is an inspiration, and you believe, like you believe. The goal is the Four of Pentacles. So the past is the Eight of Pentacles. The goal is the Four of Pentacles. I get that you want to make a living that supports you living close to the earth and keeps you sustained. Maybe you want to build something sustainable for the world and for yourself that allows you to travel. And I get that you're not much interested in anything else. Like you don't want to hear about much else outside of what you're creating. And like you keep it close to your heart. You have your goal in mind. That Four of Pentacles is something that you keep close. It's something you carry with you. It's something very important to you, that you value, you highly value. Outside influence is the Eight of Wands. So it's interesting with the goal being the Four of Pentacles and the outside influence being the Eight of Wands. I think you're carefully selecting who and what influences you. It's only like the most passionate, the most vibrant, the most on fire ideas that from people who are clarified that you allow in. And I see that here in the Page of Swords. Let's see. I don't know if you can see, but off of the book is all this glitter. We have communication here. We have maybe even some of your own thoughts that you've written down. But this communication feels like it's coming to you. So there is some inspiration coming your way. But your goal in the end is to, you're managing, this Four of Pentacles feels a little bit like you're tempering yourself. You're holding strong to the core. You have some core beliefs, some core, like you want to live on what you need and what you need alone. You want to wear sustainable clothes. You want to travel. You have these core values that are very beautiful. And so though there is this Eight of Wands and this outside influence, that's interesting. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. You could be overwhelmed sometimes at the ideas that you have. And even though the inspiration can be positive, it can also weigh you down at times. You want to keep things light. You've learned how to live with nothing. You remember when you had nothing. Maybe this process too feels really slow for you, like everything's taking longer than you feel like it should take. Like the seeds are just starting to sprout. And then your hopes and fears is the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like you want the stability, maybe not the family, I don't know, like maybe you want the family, but maybe sometimes you do and you don't. It's interesting. It's a lot of pentacles. And if your goal is the Four of Pentacles, it's very contained. And in some ways it's very contained, and it's very light, and it flows. Ten of Pentacles, while there's a lot here, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of pentacles. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of I think on the one hand you like to connect with others and their ideas. And that's a lot of energy to be around all of the time. So your hopes and fears as the Ten of Pentacles. Can I get a clarification on why the Ten of Pentacles is the hope and fear? It could be like, who would I find to build with, and would they respect the life that I've built? Do we have the same values? How do people spend their money? What do they spend their money on? Can you enlighten me on the Ten of Pentacles for hopes and fears? Judgment. I initially got like it could make you crawl out of your skin. The Ten of Pentacles would require some surrender. Wow. It would require some surrender and for you to step into your highest self. So it's it simultaneously draws you and I get this idea of, too, like I'm still becoming who I am. It's so interesting because these two cards to me really connect. Like, this is how you feel these days. Like, I just see so much of you here. And you feel far from yourself. So maybe the fear is that it's like you're still receiving yourself, your full self. If there's some like upper limit on your joy, upper limit on what you think you deserve, upper limit on inspiration that you can receive, upper limit of how you view yourself in terms of like maybe you only see yourself in this particular way, and so you hold on to your life because it feels safer. Because and there's nothing wrong with that if that's the max that you want to carry. You fear more. You fear being seen. You fear that something's not possible. Something suddenly happens with this Eight of Wands, this outside influence. It's a sudden spark. It's like a bunch of people meeting in the middle here, and this is an outside influence for you. And maybe it's like giving you hope for the first time. It's like a passion where you've found a way to bring everything together. And maybe you haven't figured out how to bring it home yet. But the ground, we're going from the 10 to the 9. So we have this barren ground here. To the 9, we have this, things are being watered, things are growing. Maybe you don't see how yet. The Judgment is almost like a desperate surrender, a desperate receiving, a desperate plea. And then the outcome is very beautiful. The outcome is the Ace of Cups. So it's interesting because your goal is the Four of Pentacles. Your goal is here. But I think something in the outcome, something allows you to hold your heart open so that there's some giving and receiving. It's very beautiful. It's an emotional cup. This is the first emotional cup on the this is the first cups, and it's in the outcome. It's interesting. The Seven of Swords just came out. And, as I'm looking at the cards here, I feel like it's a trail. Like someone snuck off with part of your heart. Almost like you hide from your own heart. I feel like there's a little bit of abandonment of what you really love. Because you don't see yourself the way that you truly are. You turn away from people because you don't know almost how to hold on to yourself and be with others. There's a passion around you. And for you. And encouragement. But I think sometimes you run away from your own heart. You're very smart. You outdo yourself. This feels like a very powerful message. You do have parameters, but you are keeping your heart open. But something taught you that you always have to be running, thinking, earning. Like, outside influence, like something I see like some similar dynamics here. Like something is touching, communicating, inspiring your heart. but you don't see it. You run from it. You run. Your goal being to stay here at the Four of Pentacles. And currently you're in the Page of Swords, so there's a smallness, and there's nothing wrong with smallness, but that Eight of Wands is pretty powerful. Interesting, I just noticed this outline of a bed here, a pillow. I wish this Eight of Wands could scatter so this bird could get through. I think people will be communicating with you. Very like-minded people communicating with you. Wow. What a reading. You're incredible, Gemini. Outside influence is also like a certain freedom of movement, passion. Okay, that's the message. That's what I see. Take good care, Gemini. I'm so glad you're here. Till next time.